So, the squirrel and the chipmunk had been dating for 2 weeks when they ran out of things to talk about. Acorns, parasites, the inevitable approach of autumn. These subjects had been covered within their first hour, and so breathlessly their faces had flushed. Twice they had held long conversations about dogs, each declaring an across-the-board hatred of them, and speculating on what life might be like were someone to put a bowl of food in front of them 2 times a day. They're spoiled rotten is what it comes down to, the chipmunk had said. And the squirrel had placed his paw over hers, saying, "That's it, exactly, finally, someone who really gets me."
Smart squirrels.
Friends had warned them that their romance could possibly not work out, and such moments convinced them that the skeptics were wrong but jealous. "They'll never have what we do," the squirrel would say.
Bullshit.
Then the two of them would sit quietly, hoping for a flash flood, a rifle report, something, anything that might generate a conversation. They were out one night at a little bar run by a couple of owls when, a long silence, the squirrel slapped his palm against the tabletop. "You know what I like," he said. "I like jazz." "I didn't know that," the chipmunk said. "My goodness, jazz?" She had no idea what jazz was, but worried. Asking would make her sound stupid. "What kind exactly?" she asked, hoping his answer might narrow things down a bit. "Well, all kinds, really," he told her, "especially the earlier stuff." "Me too," she said. And when he asked her why, she told him that the later stuff was just too late for her taste. Almost like it was overripe or something. You know what I mean. Then, for the 3rd time since she had known him, the squirrel reached across the table and took her paw. On returning home that evening, the chipmunk woke her older sister with whom she had shared a room. "Listen," she whispered, "I need you to explain something. What's jazz?" "Why are you asking me?" the sister said. "So you don't know either?" the chipmunk asked. "I didn't say I didn't know," the sister said. "I asked you why you're asking. Does this have anything to do with that squirrel?" "Maybe," the chipmunk said. "Well, I'm telling," the sister announced. "First thing tomorrow morning, because this has gone on long enough." She punched at her pillow of moss, then repositioned it beneath her head. "I warned you weeks ago that this would work out, and now you've got the whole house in an uproar. Waltzing home in the middle of the night, waking me up with your dirty little secrets. Jazz indeed. Just you wait. Till Mother hears about this." Chipmunk lay awake that night, imagining the unpleasantness that was bound to take place the following morning. What if jazz was squirrel slang? What if jazz was squirrel slang for something terrible, like anal intercourse? "Oh, I like it too," she said so eagerly. Then again, it could be mildly terrible, something along the lines of communism or fortune-telling. Subjects never talked about, but hardly ever practiced. Just as she thought she had calmed herself down, a new possibility would enter her mind, each one more horrible than the last. Jazz was the maggot-infested flesh of a dead body, the crust on an infected eye, another word for a ritual suicide, and she had claimed to like it. Years later, when she could put it all into perspective, she realized that she had never really trusted the squirrel. How else to explain all those terrible possibilities? Had he been another chipmunk? Even a tough one? She'd have assumed that jazz was something familiar, a kind of root, say, or maybe a hairstyle. Of course her sister hadn't helped any. None of her family had. "It's not that I have anything against squirrels per se," her mother had said. "It's just this one. Well, I don't like him." When pressed for details, she'd mentioned his fingernails, which were a little too long for her taste. A sure sign of vanity, she warned. "And now there's this little jazz business."